Let's talk about the habit of interruption. If you happen to be someone who recognizes and is self-aware that you're an interrupter when other people are speaking, getting a handle on this toxic behavior is crucial. Now, if we just take a really quick aside, is interruption ever okay? If someone's life is at risk, interrupt what's going on. Save them? Absolutely. But when we're in our workplaces and we are in meetings and someone is sharing their thoughts and ideas, interruption rarely has that life-saving intent. It's more about a lack of impulse control. I feel and or think something very strongly, and I have to say it right now. An interruption is an assault on the brain of the speaker. And sometimes we stop right there with the ripple impact of interruption. However, bystanders in the room are also experiencing what's happening to the individual. And so they will have an emotional response. And generally, interruption, being an assault on the brain, is also an assault on the emotion system of the bystanders around. And so one person's interruption of another doesn't just impact that individual, it impacts everyone in the space. To break this habit is all about impulse control. It is all about creating wait time, space between whenever you feel like you need to say something and the appropriate time to say something when we're behaving in respect for other people in the space. So what do we do then in that time of our impulse control when we're not blurting something out? What's important here is there isn't one solution. You have to find what works for you to flex that skill. First, we have to start from awareness because we can't manage things we're not aware of. So we have to be aware we're about to interrupt. And then we need a powerful strategy. Strategies can be anything from putting your hands in your pocket. They could be listening intently and taking notes, so your attention is on the speaker rather than your own thoughts. You could be counting. You could be focusing on your breath. There are many strategies that can be utilized in this space. Find one that works for you and then flex it. Use it. Use it all the time. Use it in your professional life. Use it in your personal life. To break a habit that is a trigger response actually doesn't take a lot of time. It does, however, take a lot of effort because you're going to notice how strong your own response patterns are, how strong your own reaction patterns are. And slowing that down takes effort, right? Because a body in motion wants to stay in motion. So at the beginning of applying this strategy and breaking this toxic habit of interruption, you might notice that it's hard work to do. Very quickly, after practicing it consistently, it gets easier and easier and easier. And the ripple impact that's positive around that is, rather than being someone who shows up with a lack of respect for others' speaking space, you start to show up as someone who looks from the outside as an individual who is curious and thoughtful, who is kind and respectful, and articulates at the appropriate moments within the social space. You start to be seen as a contributor to the healthy culture rather than a deterrent.